And welcome back to another episode of the Real Conversations podcast. I'm your host, Jacob O'Connor. Real Conversations is a podcast for those dedicated to doing hard things and living a meaningful life. Today, it's crazy. I mean, we're here. This is the week before the VIP opening of Another Broken Egg, with the grand opening to be 3 days after that. But I'm here with my business partner, my good friend, my former basketball teammate, former co-host, former a lot of things, Jon Peterson.
We're here, man. We're doing it. We're in a restaurant. That's pretty cool.
It is the second time.
I was it's the second time we've been in a restaurant. It's kind of cool. It's totally finished though.
Yeah,
totally finished. I can't remember. We didn't have furniture in last time. I don't think. Well, we had to have furniture in, but we had to take it out.
Yes, we did have to take it out. All right, so picture this, right? We've got like 27 tables in here, 150 some chairs, and then a bunch of other miscellaneous heavy items, like the host stand you can see behind us. I think you can see it at least. But imagine two recent college graduates thinking that you could bring all of this into the building and set it up, and then the health department or one of the inspectors coming through and saying, hey, what are you doing? You're not allowed to have your furniture in here yet. And then them allowing you to graciously remove all of your furniture from the building. And then 2 weeks later, you get to carry it all back in.
Yeah. Well, that was our situation.
No, purely hypothetical.
Yeah, purely hypothetical. No, it was fine. It was fine. It was a
sweaty couple days.
It was a good team building exercise between us and some friends.
Yes,
for sure.
And then imagine you've been waiting on a very large shipment. Oh, I kind of like this segment, actually. Imagine you've been waiting on a very large shipment and it's 7 pallets worth and tens of thousands of dollars worth of inventory and other items. And it comes here and they look at you and they say, our lift jack is broken. You're going to have to unload it.
By hand. So, yeah, that was fun. That is also not hypothetical.
Yeah, shout out to Joe Holthusen, Marissa Jensen, Zishan, and Taylor Parks.
Yeah, she was out here for a little bit too.
Shout out to Taylor Parks. We all hopped up in there, cut open the packages and sorted everything out, brought it in, got it organized. That was a heck of a Monday. Was that this week? No, that couldn't have been this week.
I think it was.
Oh my gosh.
I think we got it on Monday.
Is this the longest week of our lives?
That was a long week, man. That was a long week.
I tallied up the numbers.
Holy cow, it was.
The approximate numbers, we've worked somewhere between 70 and 80 hours this week. This is Sunday at 5:30 p.m. It has been one of the craziest weeks of my life.
It feels good, though.
Awesome.
It feels really good. Yeah, doing a lot of reflecting this week. A lot of reflecting on kind of the whole process and anxiety about this training team that we have, training all of our employees from Another Broken Egg. And it's just, it takes a while to sit there and reflect on it just because there is so much going on at one time. But it's awesome.
The perfect time to reflect is as you're laying down to sleep after a long day.
It is.
And your brain is like, oh, we reflect right now.
We reflect, but also, did you remember that for tomorrow? It's like,
hey, did you lock the building?
Thank the Lord ADT, we can do it remotely.
That is the coolest thing, that I can just at any given time pull up my phone and be able to look at the camera, see everything in the building, and then to be able to arm and disarm the building too.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really, really cool.
Powerful.
It is powerful.
All right, so with this reflecting, I have a question I want to ask you.
Okay.
So throughout this process, were there any difficulties or hardships that you went through? And if so, how did you make it through?
The whole thing was difficult. I mean,
you're like, what the hell kind of question is that?
I think that's cool though. We'd never done any construction before. We'd gone to training. That was new. That was interesting. That was, some might say, difficult. Come back here, work on the building for, what did we come up with? It was in April. Nothing had been started on this building, and it's finished. So that's 6 months of work that it changed from a cold, dark shell, no walls. There was concrete in here, and that was it.
Yep.
To this.
Go see my YouTube video back from July at Jacob-O'Connor on YouTube. But I gave you a full tour of what this looked like without anything in it.
Yeah. But I mean, I love this, man. I love this stuff. It's fun because you get some days I sit there and I'm like, why? How did I get in the position to be like, how am I qualified to do this? Or like stuff like that. It just comes across my mind. I'm like, but we're doing it. I'm not can't stop.
Yeah.
I'm not qualified. Okay, what does that mean? It's like
you better get qualified real quick.
Yeah, just learn on the fly. You even in our managers, I feel like we've surrounded ourselves with some good people that are experienced and know what they're doing, to where we can grow with them and learn from them, which is awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, I think we've been very clear this whole time that we got really good restaurant experience in Florida. So I would say we're competent. We're not the most experienced restaurant folks in the room, which is why our managers are great, because they complement us, because you and I are very business minded. And I'd say we really enjoy that part, and we know quite a bit about that part, and they don't, but they're very restaurant experienced. And so I think we all complement each other very well.
Yeah. We have the right team on the job.
So
for sure.
The back half of that question, we talked about some of the difficulties already. How did you make it through personally?
I don't know. Just keep going. I mean, in my head, it's like, what are you going to do? Stop? Like, you're not walking away. You're not, what other option is there? Nothing that comes to my head.
Yeah.
So that's just what's in my head. It's like, especially now, right? This popped in my head just now.
Hey guys, Jacob here. Real quick before we get back to the episode, I just want to take a quick second to say, if you guys are enjoying this episode, please make sure to share the link with a friend. You may have noticed I don't run any ads in the podcast. In fact, I don't make any money off the podcast. It's quite the contrary. Over the past 5 years, I've invested a lot of time, money, and effort into the growth of the show, trying to continually upgrade the equipment, bring on better guests, and just improve the overall quality of the podcast. So if you guys are enjoying this episode, or if you enjoyed previous episodes, please share the link with a friend. Sending it to 1 or 2 people makes a huge difference for me on the back end. As always, I appreciate your guys' support. Let's get back into the episode.
Now we have people depending on us, which is kind of a scary realization, is like, there's a lot of people depending on us to do things that we say, and in a lot of different aspects. Partners are relying on us. We've got employees relying on us now. It's like, we've got managers we're working with. Like, there's a lot of it. You can't just walk away.
Yeah.
So
that brings me back to the Nick Sandstone episode I did. He's got this concept on push versus pull. Different things that you do give you different energy. If you have a job you dislike, it pushes you to do it because you have to get it done, but you may not necessarily want to get it done. Or you've got a job to do and you realize it is an opportunity, you see the value in it, it pulls you to do it, and that provides you with energy. Both of them are going to happen in different points in your life. But I would say, you saying that you feel the pressure of having people rely on you and that's maybe pushing you, I definitely feel that too. I would also say, very surprisingly, it's pulled me a lot. I feel like I have the opportunity to be the person that helps to provide and to show up in the way that I've always thought, like, if I was in a situation like this, I would want to be the guy who shows up. And it's like, now it's here. Now I get to be that guy. And that actually really excites me. So even though it's been stressful and it's been a lot, I've actually been in a very good frame of mind, I would say.
Yeah. I really thought I would be more anxious at this point, is where I guess I would sit.
I like your comment on feeling anxiety and just showing up tomorrow, like just literally going into the next day. They say that anxiety is caused by things in the future, and it's
that you can't control.
Yes, things in the future that you can't control. It's often a time horizon issue. And so Dr. Jordan Peterson's got some really good lectures on the best way to decrease anxiety is to shorten the time frame in which you're feeling anxious about. And so Navy SEALs do this with just going one more second, going one more minute. But if you're looking out an hour and you're in Hell Week, you're looking out the next day of Hell Week. Like, we've all read books and heard about that, whatever, but it actually works. Shorten the time frame. Can you just take another breath? Can you take another minute? Like, just shorten that length.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way to put it. I never really thought about it like that. I've heard Jordan Peterson talk about that some, but
I love it. It's very compatible with ultra running. Like, as I've been really ramping up the training again, it gets tedious and boring and monotonous and being out there for that long or that many times during the day. And just, I've really found the 1 mile increment to be really good for me. It's like, well, can you just go another mile? And I only run, not only, but for the most part, I run out and back, because then no matter how far I go, if I say just make another quarter mile, make another mile, I have to automatically double it because I have to get back to the house where I started at.
Right.
And so that's been like a huge cheat code for me. On days where I really don't want to go, I just tell myself, we're only running 2 miles. And then you've tricked yourself, and it's like, well, actually, I've got to turn around and go back now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I don't like running, but yeah, that's a good thing on your side for that, for sure. But maybe there's some ties to what I just said too. It's like we're to this point.
Yeah.
So now we gotta go finish it off. You know what I mean? There's no just getting picked up somewhere and leaving.
Yeah, that's very true.
We're here.
In this instance, every dollar we've spent, we have to go back and make that dollar in the future.
Indeed. We're about to start the turnaround, hopefully.
I was going to say, unfortunately, the dollars have not stopped. They're still racking up to this point.
Indeed. Very soon, though. Very soon.
Between the Dillons and Home Depot and whatever runs this week, man, I was not expecting to be putting that much on the credit card this week.
Yeah, no, that was wild. But it's good though. It's things you don't even think about. You're like, why didn't we think about that? Why did not? What was it? We had Chili's or something we had to go get today. It's like, why didn't we get Chili's? You know?
I picked up 5 pounds of Monterey Jack cheese from Dillon's today because they needed it for training.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And boy, did I look funny carrying that out of Dillon's.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
It's the only thing I got. I'm just the guy who picked up 5 pounds of cheese left.
The cheese man. Cheese man. So
let's hit on a couple of things before we wrap up. I know we're both tired. It's late. We've worked a lot of hours. We've got VIP opening next Saturday. We've got over 200 people signed up to come out and support us. Max capacity for that event is 250 people. We've got invites still outstanding. We think people are going to fill that up. And I mean, just to have that many people that want to come out and support us. And I mean, it's so cool. It's been a long journey. And sometimes it's like, it's just me and you doing. And sometimes it's like, no one, who would even care? This doesn't matter. All that type of nihilism. And to have that many people and to have a large percentage of them who know us or who know us and we don't know them or just whatever the relationship may be, but that want to support us and another broken egg is so cool.
It really, really is. And some of the people, you know, we aren't close with, but the idea that they're bought in enough to take the time to come out to our VIP. I mean, that means a lot.
Yeah.
It really does.
It's kind of cool because some of them are like stretch reach outs. It's like, I would like to build a relationship with that person. I think that'd be a great mentor. Let's shoot them in an invite and kind of just cross your fingers. And then you get the email back and they're like, would love to come support you. Let's catch up, whatever. And it's like, let's go. That's progress, baby. That's progress.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to go shake your hand when you get here for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you tossed out during the live podcast last Q&A episode that we did here in the restaurant, and we talked about this. We would love to do that at the VIP opening, but I think it's more important that we're going table to table, sitting down, talking with everyone that made time for us.
Yeah, no, I would agree 100%. We gotta shake hands and kiss babies is what I told somebody the other day. I was like, we got to do it. We got to show up for this store, really.
Yeah, I'm so hyped, man. I think we've got a great team. I think it's been 13 long, tedious, awesome months getting here. And we're on the cusp, man. This is the pinnacle. We got to try for the first time ever in our restaurant. We got to try our food made in that kitchen today and eat it for lunch. And it was so cool.
It was wonderful.
It was so good.
It was so good.
So good.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
It was the first meal though, man. That's just crazy.
It is.
It's just crazy.
And one thing before we wrap this up, you and I, when we were in Florida especially, talked about the hurry up and wait situation that we were in, right?
Yeah.
That just popped into my head. We're not hurrying up and waiting anymore. We're just hurrying.
We're pedal to the metal, baby.
We're not waiting on anything anymore. I was thinking this week, I was like, man, I wish there was 1 or 2 more days this week.
Yeah.
In the week that we could have worked before the training team got here or whatever, just to have everything good. But we're not waiting anymore.
Yeah. And this week has been a great example of like, you have to prioritize what is coming your way. I'm deep into ultra marathon training. This is supposed to be my current peak week at 70 miles. I'm going to end the week at about 25. And it's not from lack of effort. It's just because you and I literally wake up, sprint out of the house, get here, work all day, go home, not much time at all at the house, just before we pass out and go to bed. And then we're back up here at it again.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing, not sustainable over a long period, not trying to overly endorse hustle culture. I believe that you need to take care of yourself for longevity. But I mean, it feels so good to be so committed to something.
Yeah. It's a lot, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's good for sure.
All right. This is a natural ending spot, I think. It's just a short episode, guys, but we wanted to give you an update. And you can find me on Instagram at Jacob O'Connor. The podcast is at Real Period Conversations. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to share it with a friend. Consider rating and reviewing it. Would appreciate that. YouTube channel at Jacob-O'Connor. And where can they find you, John?
I'm private on Instagram, so
he's dark mode.
I'm private, but
come see John in the restaurant.
Yeah, LinkedIn's always good. But yeah, if you want to give me a follow on Instagram,
He'll consider.
I'll consider. I'll filter through, but that's at the John Pete on Instagram, so you can at least look at my profile picture. Nothing else.
Grand opening of Another Broken Egg is September 30th, 2024 in Wichita, Kansas. We're off East 35th Street by the A-Loft in QT, right across the street from Coke Industries. Come support. If you listen to the show, please introduce yourself to me. I'd love to meet you. Thank you, guys.
All right, bye.